Hey everyone, what is up? Today is going to be a quick day. I was having technical difficulties, so I'm not going to be on camera because I want to show you guys that absolutely would have listen, the market did what it was supposed to do today. There are people that were upset that the market tanked after it ran, people cashed out. And, um, if you know technical analysis, if you know a little bit about how the market moves, this was predictable based on a level that NVIDIA hit today. And I'm gonna show you that level. I'm gonna show you some of the sympathy plays that you could have also done. And I'm also going to share, again, one of my favorite strategies, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but how it's it's prime to do. Um, I think it's gonna and so anyway, first let me introduce myself. Hey everyone, I am Kim, aka Kim with the Gems. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button if you like learning about money and how to make it, how to keep it, and how to invest it. Um, or if you like to hear about different travel tips. Matter of fact, listen, the news came out today that just like, listen, call me Nostradamus, call me Machiavelli, but let me see if I could share that first because we're going to need to learn how to make more money as these things are going up, going higher and higher and higher. Let me see. Did I do a screenshot? I don't know if I did a screenshot or not. Let me see. List. Anyway, so I was gonna talk about how the residency prices, in the country of Mexico, the fees that they charge to get residency have pretty much doubled. They have already announced it, trying to get us ready before we go planning for 2026. And again, just another reason why, child, I know it was meant for me to go so hard this year to try to get people in position before these changes happened. Um, I will try to find that screenshot. Let me see if I can find it right now, and then we'll get into the trading. But I just want to show y'all how things are changing just like I said they would. And it's not to, toot a horn or anything like that, but just to let you know that when you follow the money, keep your eyes wide open, things just become very clear. And so I see that screenshot. All right, let me see if this is it. I don't wanna God only knows what I'm about to share. No, that's not it. Okay, so let me do a screenshot real quick and then say hi to some of the people. And if you're in here and you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and hit it. You will become part of the Gym Nation family. That's all you need to do. I think we're near 16,000 and we still have a goal. We're trying to grow this community so that we can build community, right? So that we can make sure that we're looking out for each other with different news, topics. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna try to share this now. I thought I put it. Oh, you know what? It wasn't a screenshot. It was a download. Okay, so I'm gonna show y'all what was posted in one of the communities that I'm part of that, and this was only posted about an hour ago, so I don't know when the announcement was made, but let me try to pull it up now. Oh, somebody's in Mexico right now. You may know about the changes. Good thing you are there before 2026. Here we go. So, this is the increase, year-over-year increase for residency. The residency fee, not the application fee that you pay here in the US. This is the residency fee. Um, you can see and this is in Mexican peso, so you can do your own calculations based on what the current conversion rate is. But just know that it is double in most situations. Um, so yeah, if you look at a visitor without permission, meaning I guess if you overstay I don't know what that stands for, but I think it's if you overstay. Um, I'm not sure, so let's just move on to the next one. This year, a one-year residency cost you 5,570 pesos. Next year, it's 11,140 pesos. If you go to renew for, you know, 4 years, for the 4th year, I think I'm reading this right. So the 2nd year is 8,000 for 2 years. If you renew for 2 years, that's what it is. It's 8,347. If you renew for 3 years, 10 it was 10,571. 2026, it's 21,142, basically double the price, right? So for anyone who did receive residency this year, congratulations, you saved some money, but please expect that when you go to renew, that price is going to go up. But listen, we don't worry about things like that because we have different ways to pay for the things we want. I don't know if I shared this yesterday, but I use the market. I see something that I want, I may have shared this. It sounds like I'm repeating myself. But if I see something that I want and I know it costs, let's just say 2 grand, and I don't want to which I never want to use my 2 grand, I don't wanna sell stock, I don't wanna go in my bank account. I will take and I will pay to make sure that I make that money in the market, and I try to pad it so that taxes are included because it's short term and you have to pay capital gains. And then I go to work, or I let the market go to work basically, and then I pull that money right out the market using high probability trades. And so we're gonna talk about that later too. Some of you may see that the link is pinned in the chat. So if anybody's interested in the free webinar, um, that is going to focus on trading like the pros using high probability trades only, very high probability, 65% success rate or higher. We don't play games when we trade. That link is in the chat. Go ahead and sign up for the free webinar on Saturday morning. But I just really wanted to let everyone know about the confirmation that not only did the fees go up, I think this is the first time that they have doubled year over year. And so just be prepared. Permanent residency, if you get approved for that this year, you could still like, if you get approved this year, you can make it to Mexico before the year changes, your fee will be 6,789 pesos. Starting 2026, it will be 13,576 pesos. And let's just see, what that is because it changes, so that's 739 US dollars starting next year, where this year it was half of that. So let's do, um, yeah, so that would have been 300, just under, 300, yeah, just under $400, this year. So anyway, let's move on to what y'all are here to hear about. So, is there anyone in here that trades? Let me see who's in the building. I don't look at the chat normally because it distracts me. I try to come back. But let me see who is in here. Let me stop sharing. this screen. And for those of you who just joined, as I mentioned, I wanted to pull up the charts, and I noticed that when I have the camera running as well as the charts in the background, sometimes it doesn't do what I need it to do. So we're not gonna be here a long time, but let me say hi to some people. Hey, Ebag, good to see you. So good to see you. Um, yes, and we have a for who I don't know who's attending the Flawless meeting tonight, but that's at 9 o'clock, so I will see everyone there. Hey, Jackie's Journey. Hola, ¿cómo está? I so love your latest video. Um, I'm sure there's changes coming to Panama too. Can't wait for you to let us know what they are. But if you're not following Jackie's Journey and you're interested in Panama as a potential destination to visit. Oh my gosh, that restaurant that you showcased, the visuals, the food. I can't wait to visit when I'm there. Hey, Creative Flavors. Hola from Guana Guanajuato. Guanajuato. Hola, ¿cómo está? Um, Hi, Kim, everyone new to your channel. Not sure if us guys are welcome here or not, but I am excited about learning how to trade for a living. Oh, this is yeah, you're new because from the time I started, this is a co-ed facility. I would not want to be in a world where I couldn't take my brothers with me, so absolutely, you are more than welcome. Um, oh, you're welcome, Jackie's Journey. So, okay, so for those of you who may have seen yesterday's video, um, I started talking about well, I had 2 videos yesterday. One was about NVIDIA specifically, and another one was about NVIDIA, how it relates to the market, how it carries the market, and how it the night before, it had made a big announcement the night before their earnings, which was yesterday. They made a big announcement about a partnership that they were doing with Anthropic, which is the parent company for Claude and Microsoft. And let me just start off by saying the disclaimer. Listen, I am not a fiduciary. I am not a financial advisor. All investing and trading comes with risk. If you don't know that, I mean, just your 401k, investing in your 401k, that comes with risk. So anything I say, do your due diligence, do your own research. I have been trading for a while. I have been teaching trading for since 2021, April 2021, I want to say was the first um, live. And so I'm saying this based on, and I am still part of a couple of trading communities where we hold each other accountable. We come together, we chart, we do strategy. And what I know for certain is that when 2020 and 2021 came around, a lot of people got hoodwinked and bamboozled by thinking that they can outsmart the market through options trading without doing the work. Many of y'all heard about AMC, you heard about GameStop, people got rich, and a lot of people got broke. There's actually a movie about like, what was the name of the movie they talked about the GameStop, um, not meme, the GameStop craze, and so I really it became a passion of mine to make sure because I was like, "This ain't right." Like, um, some of us are in here trading all willy-nilly. That's what I called it, all willy-nilly and losing money all willy-nilly. Now, yes, you will lose money in the market. Every trade is not going to be a successful trade. The goal is to stack the odds in your favor by taking high probability trades, right? I also know that people who trade options don't have a clue about the options chart, and oh, I might pull up an options chart later. Hopefully, if I remember if y'all remind me, y'all. Remind me, y'all. Um, but yeah. you don't understand the complete options chart, you should not be trading options. And a lot of people get the fear of missing out when they see other people trading and making money and not understanding the optimal times to enter the trade, as well as a exit plan, an exit strategy. Every trade in the options market is not gonna deliver 100% return. But guess what? A 30% return is a good return. You're not getting 30% return any place else. No place else are you putting your money in and getting 30% return on a short-term basis. And so we get greedy, we have the fear of missing out, we follow people we shouldn't be following. And so when I started, which some of you know used to be my company, not company, my group was called Investing for Independence. Someone actually, swiped my name, and so I had to, instead of fighting it, I let it go. But saying all that to say, the whole goal was to get us to start investing in a way that we can find financial independence, financial freedom, and that does not mean getting rich, right? It just means that whatever you're producing in the market is allowing you to not have to work so hard, right, in a job, or not have to not be able to take vacation, or not be able to just do the simple things, right? So independence looks different for everybody, right? For me, independence is not having to go into my bank account to pay for things, to have the market pay for things, right? And my money is my money is my money, period. And so I wanted to quickly talk about what happened with NVIDIA today because I left off yesterday talking about NVIDIA. Well, actually, yesterday's last video was about 3 strategies to use to just simplest strategies for generating income in the market, and I hope you guys remember, but the first one that I talked about was dividend investing, very smart strategy. They've been using it, air quotes, they have been using this strategy forever, forever. And if you want to check out that video, it was posted live yesterday. I think we went live at 6 p.m., so you can go check that video out. If you're watching on the back end, I'll try to insert the link above, at the top of this video so you can watch it, or at the end, I'm not sure yet. Another strategy, which is my favorite, which is swing trading. And swing trading just means that it's short-term trading, not day trading. Usually it means it's more than a day, less than a year. That's the basic definition for swing trading. Um, and that is my favorite. And where I'm most successful. I do leap trading as well, and I do day trading as well, not often because you have to literally be ready to pull the trigger. Like, you can't get a phone call when you're day trading and get, miss the move, basically. So, unless I have undivided attention to my screen, I do not day trade. But I love swing trading and I like leap trading. Um, but I think where we miss the mark is we do not understand technicals, right? We may know a company is good, we may watch CNBC, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, all the things, and know that this is a valuable company, but there are indicators that will allow you know where there's a buy zone, buy area, right? And then there's sell areas. And when I tell you NVIDIA was classic buy sell today, that if you were into, if you know how to short the market, you short the market using stocks as well as options. If you know how to short the market, um, then you can make money there too. And so I saw somebody just ask a question, sorry. So there's a link posted in the chat, and you can just click on that and register for the webinar. I'm doing a free webinar on Saturday morning. Hopefully you can attend. Anyone who joins the course, I want them to know exactly what the course is about. Listen, at the end of the day, I really, 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 really just know that there are people out there that will try to look for hit a licks, right? They're trying to hit a lick. They're trying to get rich quick. And that is not what this course is about. It is about strategy. It is about timing. It is about research. It's about patience. It's about being able to have that mindset that, you know what, I'm going to wait for this setup to come to me. I'm not going to chase the setup. And I'm also going to walk away when I hit my financial goal. Don't stay in because you think, you think that it may keep going up. No, if your financial goal for profit was 50%, get out at 50%, period, exclamation point. And so, um, so I want everyone to know what the 8 weeks course is going to be about. For those of you who were, you know, riding with me for a while, y'all know I have some basics of investing in the stock market videos. I've been teaching that since 2021. Most of the courses that I teach is 8 weeks because you need at least 6 weeks to understand from the beginning, right, the setups, the tools, and all of that. Then you need another few weeks to understand the strategies. And then you need 2 weeks to actually, do the work, the charting, the setting of the alerts, the understanding, the movement of the stock. So you're gonna do the watch list and all of that in the beginning, but you're going to do some execution the last 2 weeks and practice. And so 8 weeks is the minimum that, I would, offer this course to beginners. Now, if you have already traded, then that's different. Some of this stuff, may be repetitive, like the mindset conversation, what is it, candlestick formations, all of that. But in this course, we're also only going to be trading stock shares, not options. If you do not understand options chart and what each of the areas in that options chart means, do not trade options. If you don't know that theta will eat away at your profit real quick, the closer you get to your expiration date, if you don't know how to play theta, if you don't know how to play gamma, if you don't know how to play the Greeks, basically, if you don't understand in the money versus out of the money, if you don't understand all of the basic terms, then you should not even think about doing an options trade. The great thing is you don't need that to make money. You can trade shares and equity and make money as well. And so that's enough preaching for the day. I am going to share this, and hopefully you can see my arrow. Somebody put a 1 in the chat if you can see the arrow, me pointing at this big, long red candlestick. Can you see my arrow? Or am I the only one that can see the arrow? 2 if you can't see it, 1 if you can. Because if you can't see it, I need to pull up let me just remove this and I'll pull up. You can't see it? Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So let me go ahead and pull up Trading View. 1 second. And I usually, chart and trade in Thinkorswim, which is Charles Schwab bought them a few years ago, but that's my favorite charting platform. But when hold on a second. Here we go. So hopefully, let me just pull this up on the screen. Okay. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see this better. Can you put a 1 in the chat if you see this where I'm um, showcasing this long red candlestick? This is NVIDIA chart right here. Can you see this? 1 yes, 2 no. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. So let me get back to it. So this is NVIDIA's movement since from the opening of market at 9:30 this morning to the close of market, 4 PM this afternoon. This is where it opened. Excuse me. This is where it opened, and this is where we close. Do you know that this stock ranged from the low of $179.65 to the high of $196, which is just over a $16 move, which is you see how big large long this candle is compared to the other candles, right? The moves NVIDIA doesn't typically move like that. Even after earnings, we can look at another earnings play. This is earnings over here. Yeah, the candle usually doesn't make this size move. People got real excited yesterday because let me actually go down to 15 minutes. So this is where it opened today, and this was its decline. This was its decline. But I tried to show y'all something, and I'm not gonna get into um, the details of the different types of this formation that I love trading, but I'll just call it what it is. This is a gap right here, right? This was an overnight gap when the stock shot up from where it closed yesterday to where it opened today. When I tell you certain gaps have a 70 to 80% win ratio, and I'll even say, like, listen, the only reason I'm hesitant about saying anything is y'all gotta promise me, do not go and try to do this yourself. I don't wanna make this oversimplified, but overnight gaps are one of my favorite, um, formations to trade. But it also comes with strategy. There's multiple types of gaps. And so a gap all gaps are not created equal. But this is on the 15-minute chart, and we could see that it came and filled that gap beautifully in one day. So even if you shorted this, you would well, that's the only way you would have made money today is if you shorted it, unless bought it yesterday and got out at the top here, right? Or bought it before yesterday and got out when it ran this morning. But let's just show you let me take it back to the day chart. And if you have a question, put a Q in front of it and I'll try to get to you. So the other thing I want you to see, and this is just one of the strategies. So it's part of the course that launches the beginning of December. We're going to teach, and when I say we, there's 2 instructors, and you'll learn more about that during the webinar. But we are going to teach you 4 of the top, and in some rankings, the top 4 strategies that have the highest probability of success. And there's, like I said, multiple gap formations, not all are created equal, but let me just show you this right here. Let me see, can I okay. So this was Friday, November 7th, and this was Monday, the 10th. Can y'all see what happened between Friday, November 7th, and Monday, the 10th? Put in the chat what happened between this candle and this candle. Let me get back. Okay, Imma wait till somebody answers before I move on. You could be wrong, but I just need some engagement and participation so I know that I'm not talking to myself. Okay, well, I'll move on because I'm not going to something happened, and I'll just leave it at that. If no one answers, we'll just move on. So saying all that to say, what happened between these 2 candles dictated why this came flying back down. And we'll talk more about exactly what happened and how you can benefit and profit off of when things like that happen. And also where it stopped at is very predictable. And that's without putting any of the other indicators there's a whole bunch of other indicators that can be used, and for the sake of this course, we don't even have to mess with many of those indicators. There are 4 strategies that can provide you confluence, right, to make sure that this is a smart trade and you can go ahead and enter that trade. And so, um, thank you. Hey, Christine. Girl, you be changing names. I don't know who you are. You see a huge gap between the candles. Right. Right. Looks like a lot of buying activity. Yep. It pushed that stock way up. The buyers took control and just left a whole lot of buyers behind. And we'll talk more about what this is like pricing, right? So in between this gap, there are buyers here that didn't get their orders filled because the stock price skyrocketed. And so the beautiful thing is, oh, child, I'm looking at the wrong. I'm not even I got my thing on the wrong thing. Okay, so here we go. So this right here, this space in between, there's a whole lot of buyers still there waiting for their orders to be picked up. These wicks also mean something, but we're not going to get into that. That's going to be part of the course. Again, I just want y'all to see certain things that are patterns, right? And similar here. Let's just go here, child. And this isn't even one of the strongest examples, but what happened on September 9th to September 10th? These 2 candles, what happened? Y'all don't have to answer. I know y'all know the answer because you answered the next one. So let's just look at that pattern. And this gap has a name, which is different from this gap's name, which is different from like that's what I mean. Not all gaps are created equal. And you need to know the ones that you're not going to touch because they're riskier, and the ones that have a higher probability of turning around. And I'm also going to share because some people may be looking like, oh, that stock costs too much money. There are companion stocks that move the same way that other stocks move, but may be at a lower price, right? A lower point of entry, that which makes it more affordable for your budget, right? Um, but anyway, so let's get back to here. So, oh, was this the one? This one, this one. Oh, and then there's one here. Now, there's certain patterns. Child, I love teaching this stuff, child. I so love teaching it. I really do. But I have to teach the right people, serious people that's not that's willing to do the work, right? Because anyway, let's just get back. So this was another gap, which is different from this gap, which is different from this gap, right? And so there's one thing that you can see. These were overnight gaps. These are overnight gaps. Both of these are overnight gaps. When the next candle filled this gap, the stock did what? It climbed, it went up. It picked up those unfulfilled orders and it ran. Similarly here, when the candle filled this gap, it picked up all the unfulfilled orders and it ran. It dipped a little, but there's some more gaps in here too that you have to be aware of too. Came back and got some more of those unfulfilled orders and went back up. So today was no secret. Today was no secret that this was going to fall. Once it hit this huge resistance, and I'm not teaching so there's 2 instructors that we have that's going to be part of the course. Um, Andrea will be teaching 2 of the straight trading strategies, and I will be teaching 2. And so, and we'll introduce Andrea and why she is just so dope in this area later, but she has taught for one of the biggest trading programs and platforms out there. She was one of the instructors. And so, anyway, I'm excited about that. So just notice that there's patterns, and we're going to focus on the highest probability patterns. So I do want to try to find something else for you to see because, like I said, all gaps are not created equal. Hmm. Well, it did it here too, and this was back in 2024. It ran, went down, ran back up. This may not be the best chart. I don't know because NVIDIA has been on a tear. So let me try to find another. Let me see if y'all have any questions, and then let me find another um, um, ticker to show you that this is it's I don't like to say it because it's not easy, right? You have to put in the work, but this is the stuff they don't want us to know about. And they want us focused on the high gaming portion, the high risk portion of trading. We're not doing that. We're here to make some money, get out. um, so hold on a second. I just have to respond to something. Sorry. Okay. So let's go to your questions, and then we're going to go to one of the stocks that follow the pattern really quick. Yes, there will be, if you register, there will be a replay available. So yes, so you can just register and then um, check the replay. I was thinking about doing another session, but because the course is limited, like we're not doing a big class. We want to be able to provide hands-on attention. We want to be able to answer all questions. This is not going to be um, something that is hard for us to manage. So I didn't want to announce another webinar until I know how many spots. And then this is also complimentary to our RAIN founders members. So we have a community called RAIN. And so there's a certain number of them that will be. And if you are in here and you're in RAIN, I need you to sign up for the webinar, just letting me know that you're interested, even if you don't show up. I just need to know so I can hold that place for you, right? Because, like I said, I know everyone in our community is not going to want this course, right? But if you do want this course, um, we have people who are retired. We have people that, anyway. So I just want to make sure you are going to be part of the course. So register for the webinar, attend if you can, so you understand what we're going to be reviewing. And then, just confirm that you will be attending. So saying all that to say, I'm not sure if I'm going to have another webinar to talk about the program because it may not be any spots left after Saturday. So I'm not sure. So anyway, let's go ahead and yeah, he sold all his shares. So what? Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm sorry, because I didn't mean to say it like that. Yeah, that people take profit. People listen. Oh goodness, Peter Thiel is so rich. We don't pay attention to his moves, right? I pay attention to the hedge funds, the banks, the market makers, um, not individual investors who have businesses to run and are looking to reinvest, to stash cash, whatever. But yeah, he did, and he wasn't the only one. There were other people that emptied, and that happens. Like there's been time Warren Buffett has emptied his shares of a company to make cash available to purchase another company. You take profit. And that's what I was sharing with Jackie. You take profit. You don't have to always take all your profit, but you know, that's what the market is there to do for people who understand. I also 100% believe in long-term investing. So some of your, income should be allocated to that. And then for me, some of my income is allocated to making money in the market short term, right? Paying for things. And so, okay, let's go ahead and let me show you the one of the companion companies that ride along um or makes the same moves, I should say, similar moves as Nvidia. I wonder if anybody would know. I'm just going to do it so I don't waste people's time. So this right here is AMD. Once again, no surprise here. This is today's candle. What is here? A huge buying gap. Huge buying gap. It has a name, it has a phrase. We will go over all of that during the course. But you see what happened as soon as it entered this buying area. There's resistance and it stopped, right? But it also, excuse me, it actually, so it really didn't fill this gap yet, but it still moved. Like, so it opened very high compared to um its closing yesterday, and I can't really say very high. So it closed yesterday at $223. It opened at $234. So we're talking, 5%, right? 5% move, which is huge. You can see by the candle. This candle had a lot more volume than the previous candles. But let's just look at another example for AMD. Okay, here we go. Now, this is a different kind of gap than this gap, but you'll see when this gap was formed and it started to fall, let me show you. This candle entered into this gap and got rejected. Had to get out of here, get out of here. Too many buyers for it to fall, completely fall down. So these buyers were holding this candle up. And then what happened? It ran. And when I say it ran, for a stock that's $143 to go to $182, oh, that's a run. That's some money. And it's a lot more money if you trade options. But again, you have to know everything from your strike price to your premiums to your expiration dates to all of the things that are going to affect your profitability or lack thereof. And so as soon as it entered into there, it got rejected and you could have made some coin off of this, right? Um, let me see. Is there another? I'm trying to look at the most obvious. And it's even, so you could even go far back to here where that's a gap down. That's not a gap up. Similar reaction, but I'm trying to find another gap up to show you. Okay. And this is what I meant yesterday about, okay, being patient. Sometimes you just have to, and this is why we trade equities and shares versus options, because we're less worried about the time. We're less worried about the time affecting our investment, especially when you're trading good companies, right? So this was a gap right here. Now, when it came back down, it kind of went a little below the gap, right? And then it kind of consolidated, kind of went sideways. Now, it did go up a little. So it went from 108 to 121. And if your desire was 10% return, then fine. But if you were a little patient, so this was June, If you would have waited till October of 2023 and then wanted your 30% return or 40% return or whatever, it would have delivered, baby. You would have gotten your coin. It just would not have happened as quick as maybe some of these others that you saw, but it would have happened and your money would have still been in that market. And what some people do, if it keeps going down, they will buy the dip, keep buying the dip and dollar cost average into it. So the stock that you may have paid $113 for, when you buy it down at 96 or 93, then averaging your average cost will go closer to like $100 per share. So when it rides up to 150 right here, that's your 50% right there. Or if you want 30%, there's your 30% right there in December. So again, this is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, probably my most lucrative trading strategy over the years. But there's others, and Andrea will be teaching that. So let me see if y'all have any questions, and I do want to just address. What's my prediction of where the stock will open since we see today's sell-off? Will it be a buy or a sell off that or if that happens? So let me just say, overnight activity, I never try to predict. That's all banks and market movers. I have no idea how much big ball of money is coming in after market. And you can't even really get real information about it. So post market and pre market, not my concern, right? I chart so that I know once it hits a level, I need to start getting my capital ready to deploy. But I wait for confluence, I wait for validation, right? So there's three other strategies that, or two, well, there's two different type of gap strategies and two other strategies that we're going to learn. And then some other areas you want to make sure the volume is there, that there's a lot of activity um, that can help you or help the stock move um, the way you expect it to move. And so I don't try to understand what happens, like I said, overnight. I don't play in that space. That is not any place that any um, individual trader should even try to think about. All you can do is look at pre-market activity, and that includes foreign markets, like what is the Asian market doing? Because it opens before the US market. Are they down? Are they up? And then you can see um, if there's a gap overnight and which way that direction is. But again, these are strategies that we'll all talk about and learn more about during the um, 8-week session. So let me just quickly see. You use your Robinhood to buy low and sell high. You call it your bridge account. It keeps you from touching your retirement accounts. Yeah, I do believe in having, a separate account from your real money account, your long-term investing. And when I say real money, I always say when you trade, you got to trade like this is FU money. Do not take your life savings from one account and put it into some trade. And again, if it's a solid company, you are mitigating risk, right? You're stacking the odds in your favor, but at the same time, it's still a risk. Like every investment is a risk. Investing in a house is a risk. That could go underwater, right? You just don't know. And so you can do all the planning in the world, you can stack the odds in your favor, but you still don't know. And that's why we're only going to focus on high probability trades, right? So if you are trading a strategy that delivers 70%, um, a 70% success ratio, right? Then 7 out of your 10 trades will be successful. So you may have 3 trades that don't go your way, but that's why you also have stop losses. That is also why you don't just say, "Oh, I'm just going to let it ride and see what happens." It's okay to, lose 10, 20% if 70% of the time you're getting 30, 40, 50%, right? Sometimes even 100% depending on the stock and how it moves. And so we have to be okay with saying, "Okay, that was today's loss, but you know what? After that was just one. I got 3 to get through." And then the rest is all smooth sailing, so it's a mindset that you have to adapt and just know that it's okay to lose, but it's not okay to lose without strategy. It's not okay to say, "I'm going to um not know what my exit." So if the trade goes in a different direction, and just to show you, so I'm still on AMD, right? So remember that trade I talked about? You may have had to wait for a little consolidation. Where was that? What month was that? What year was that? Okay, this is it, right? So let me just, okay. So let's just say I had my alert set and I was going to get in at the top of this wick, right? Or maybe after the wick. So let's just say that's $109, right? The stock went all the way down to $94, but that's still within a 20% or 30%, right? 94, no, within a 20% loss. So if you have a stop loss that's at 20%, you still good. You are still good. And you're just going to ride it until it goes up. Now, if it would have came all the way down here, right? And then just consolidated, for a longer time, then that's money that's tied up. You can't deploy it someplace else. And again, we're stacking the odds in our favor. So if we take that 20% loss, but knowing that 70% of the time we're going to be right, take that 20% loss and deploy it to another trade so you can be right. And so yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm going to go over today. There are other strategies. Like I said, here's another gap that literally did what it was supposed to do a couple of times. So ran up, came down, hit it again, went up, came down, hit it again, bam. So there's certain strategies that we will not only give examples of, but teach you how to chart them and teach you the ones to stay away from. Again, all gaps are not created equal, and you need to know which ones to pretty much stay away from because they're fake outs. They could be fake outs. And so I do want to share once again the oh, okay, there it is. So you can actually go to trade the odds, bit.ly trade the odds. Hold on. I did have it. You should be able to see it in the bit.ly. Yes, trade the odds. Um, I'll just put this link in real quick. If you're interested in signing up for the webinar, let me see what else is here. Are you? Did I miss anything? Okay. Will RAIN founders receive a code for the webinar enrollment payment? The webinar is free, EBAD, so just register. You don't have to pay. You just need to register. If you're talking about the actual course, you'll get the links 48 hours before the course starts, and I'll talk more about that during the webinar. Okay, so I don't think if you have any questions, let me know, but let me just show you the registration page one more time. Here we go. And this is what we are going to review. So we're going to learn how to generate income in the stock market in 60 days. Y'all know I also say 8 weeks, right? 8 weeks is my thing, but I have everything reviewed and 60 days is supposed to sound better. I don't know. It's 8 weeks. And we're going to learn high probability trading only. And I have only capitalized. So if you're coming there to try to teach me to teach you something that you heard on TikTok, this ain't it. This is not it. We are only going to focus on high probability trades, which means it has a 65% or higher win rate. Period. Exclamation. Most of them are 70% to 80%. So you're going to learn how to master low risk, high probability trading in 60 days by understanding the setups that create consistent income with less stress. Again, if you have a 70% win rate and you also are making sure that you implement your stop losses, that will create consistent income. The webinar is going to take place on Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Listen, we ain't going to be there for a long time. I promise you that. Like, presentation, 30 minutes. Q&A, I'll give y'all another 30 minutes for Q&A, but it's Saturday. It's Saturday before the holiday, Thanksgiving. A lot of y'all are celebrating. The goal is to be out within 45 minutes to an hour. I'm just going to review, and I'll tell you exactly what we'll review in a second. Actually, let me get the whole, because I have a whole nother list. So I just want you to get all the details for anyone who's interested. Listen, today's move was such a beautiful one, for especially because we'll also talk about how you can short the market using stocks, which is a lot of people don't even know you can do that. You can buy high and sell low and make money. And there's, a way to do that without doing the options. Some of the stocks may be hard to purchase, like some of the more popular stocks, because the big banks are purchasing them, but we're going to find ones that, aren't so hard to purchase. So yeah, let me just quickly go through the topics of what we will review on Saturday. So Saturday, we are going to go over the 8-week program, the 8-week profitability trading program. We only talking profits here. Listen, we talk losses 30% of the time, max. That's it. 70% of the time, we talking profit. There will be weekly live coaching. And we'll talk about what that's going to look like. Live trade breakdowns. So it may be hard to do live trades because I know people work, but during our reviews, we can use a simulator to show you the trade in real time. And so that will probably be, because most of our meetups will be in the evening. And so, yeah, so we'll go through live trade breakdowns. You'll have a strategy mastery template. We're going to do simulator drills together, which I just kind of spoke about that. So, you're also going to get a watch list that every trader should have, right? So you can add other companies after you do your due diligence, but this is a master watch list these are companies that move the market. And so that's going to be your master watch list. And then you can have a watch list that is inclusive of the stocks that you want to trade based on price and action and um and fundamentals, but you must have this master watch list. Um, Final income blueprint plan. So at the end of the last week of the session, you're going to have a blueprint based on what you shared with us. So if your why is that, you know, based on whatever, you don't have to tell us how much you're going to invest, but you want to have a rate of return of 20% or 30% for each trade, we're going to create a blueprint for you. Well, not we're going to you're going to create a blueprint with the help of our strategies. There's going to be 6 months complimentary in our RAIN school community. That is where you'll have private group access and trade support. So within the school community, there will be a channel strictly for the traders. And that is where you can celebrate your wins, ask questions about your charts, do all of those things. And Andrea is also in the school community. I'm in the school community. We will review and provide commentary, right? And so after the 6 weeks, if you want to continue, there will be a way for you to do that, but your registration will come with that. And so, yeah, and anyone who signs up on Saturday will get the best price, absolutely 100%. And that price will only be available. And I understand, and again, this is Saturday. So if you can't make it and you do, yeah, but puts are, let me read the question. So Jackie's Journey wants to know, is short like selling puts? Right. There's a difference. And I wonder, do you know? Yeah. So do you trade options, Jackie? Let me know if you trade options. Well, you asked about puts, so I will assume if you don't trade it, you've been exposed to it. So, right. So with puts, that is an option strategy. You can't do puts on a share of stock, but you can short a share of stock or shares of stock. So, yeah, they're similar. The common theme is that you're expecting price action to go down. And I did want to show everyone what a options chart looks like, because I believe I just want you to see why this is not where you start trading for income. It's not, unless, and I have friends who are brokers, like they have spent years understanding the options chain and how to effectively trade. Of course, they trade big numbers, right? Big money, but the principles are still the same. Meanwhile, we thought that we could come in, and that's why you hear 90% of people who trade lose their money. Well, that doesn't happen when you trade equity, right? The stock is the stock is the stock, right? And I'm going to share, let me see if I should share this with y'all. Y'all may hate me after this, but um, hmm. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Because listen, I am truly about um. You know what? I'm gonna save this for our intimate group because I do not want. Yeah, I'll save that when we have the students, and I'll save. Remind me, y'all, when we sign up, and when we start course, for me to share with you what I was going to share. There's a company that I trade, um, but I'll tell y'all privately. So again, about the webinar, if your goal is to create reliable income from the stock market in as little as 60 days, aka 8 weeks, this program gives you the exact foundation you need. Instead of chasing hype, we don't do that, or guessing your way through trades, we don't do that. You'll learn how to focus on a small set of elite, high probability setups. We're going over 4. And if y'all act right, we may have a bonus. We'll see. And when I say act right, if y'all doing the work, asking the questions, there may be a bonus 5th one. We'll see. Um, yeah, so the high probability setups that serious traders rely on for consistent results. These strategies are built for beginners and busy professionals who want a clear, structured path to steady income with rules, discipline, and a system designed to protect your capital while positioning you for growth. The great thing is, once you kind of master this, one of the other steady ways to make or generate income out the market is through covered calls. I talked about that yesterday. Once you understand this strategy And let's just say you have 100 shares of something, you can also generate income while you're waiting for that consolidation to happen. Remember, I showed y'all that consolidation on AMD, I think it was, right? It wasn't NVIDIA, AMD. If you would have had 100 shares of that, while those months you were like, okay, got to wait for this gap to react the way it's supposed to, you could have been generating income through covered calls. And so, but you have to understand the stock trading method first before you move on to the options. And again, you're going to build consistent income streams, you're going to cut out the noise and confusion, and you're going to trade with confidence. And let me just show you quick before. Oh, we've been on here for an hour, child. How did that happen? Oh, yes. You'll have Saturday. You'll have till Sunday. And do me a favor, so this is what I can say. Because I don't know how many people are going to sign up, if for some reason you log on and you have a problem signing up, come back or come in my comments under this post and let me know, and we'll work it out. We'll find a way, because I see you're interested, and you listen. You doing more chatting in here for you to be new than my OGs. My OGs are quiet. Well, not Jackie, but and not Ebad, but yeah. So anyway, yeah. So again, I don't know how many people are going to show up. I know quite a few people registered for the seminar. That doesn't mean everybody's showing up, so I can't make a promise. But what I will say is, if you watch the replay on Saturday, you'll have until midnight Saturday to take advantage of that offer. After that, the offer is so good. Like, I really have to pray on this, because there's two of us teaching. It's an 8-week program. When people sign up, there's fees here, fees there. Like, I had to pray on it, because I know how much commitment this is going to take from both of us. And so the Saturday price is the Saturday price for a reason. Like, that is it. And then, like I said, we already have members that are getting this complimentary for 60 days, right? For 60 days, not 1 week, not 2 weeks, but for 60 days for 8 weeks. And so, yeah, but let me just quickly show you I'll do bar chart, and I'll show you an options chart. And I'll give this to you for free too. Our bar chart is always going to be one of the resources in my toolkit that helps with trading. So let me just go ahead and pull that up real quick. And I'm just going to show you what, for those of you that don't know, what an options. Let me take this off, because that background against this is making me dizzy. So, okay, there we go. Let me just show you what a options chart looks like. Did I share it? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So let's see what the news is real quick. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yep, the VIX is up. This is all the stuff we're going to learn. The VIX is over 25. That means if y'all got some capital to deploy, there's some deals. There's some things on sale. That damn gold ain't going down though. Jeez Louise. Okay. Let's go ahead and we see stocks reverse sharply lower as tech stocks get crushed. That was led by Nvidia. Nvidia moves the market. Period. Exclamation point. Okay. Let's go to the options chain. I'm sorry. I always get stuck because I look for unusual options activity. Not sometimes. Well, I'm not trading tomorrow, so let me not do that. Okay. So this is an options chart. Let me make sure y'all can see what I see. Yes. Okay. This is an options chart. If you do not know what each and every one of these across the top of this, and this isn't even this is just a fraction of um what you need to understand. So of course the symbol, um, what the strike price is, in the money, out the money, what's your moneyness, what's the bid, what's the last, what's the ask, what's the volume, what's the open interest, what's the um volume open interest, what's the implied volatility. Like all of this, the delta, they don't even have the gamma and theta and all of that on this initial screen. You have to, you know, put that. This is showing deltas greater than, oh, so you could, okay, yeah, this is a different screen than, I'm not signed in, so I'm just trying to make sure. Google had puts unusual activity. Okay, no, that's not Google. That's is this Intel? Let me just, yeah, Intel had some. Oh, that's a huge gap right here. From 17, then reacted. So again, that's just another example. Let me show you the full chart. I'm not signed in, so y'all gonna see some commercials, some ads. So, and then we're gonna go. I'm gonna see if y'all have any questions, and then we're going to go. Okay, you see how this gapped up? And this gap has a name. If you would have had your alert set, and this is an inexpensive stock, so you're looking at, if you would have, and I don't like to go to the bottom, let's just say you got in at $29. You could have rode this to $40. That's $11 per share return. That is like 30, what did I say? Yeah, that's over 30% return right there. And let's just say your goal was 20%. Then you go ahead and you get out at $36, $37, and there's your 20%. But if you had a 30%, you waited. And so that, when was this? What's this date? That's September 2025. By October, a month later. So wait, that was the 22nd. By a month and 5 days later, you would have had your 30% and out. So anyway, I think you guys get the picture. Let me see if there's any last minute questions. Stop share. Um, what is the lowest amount? I would say, and again, I've been doing this since 2021, like teaching. So I may be lying. It may have been less, but I'm just gonna say for comfortability's sake, 500. Um, and they built, right? They waited. They weren't trying to flip that 500 to 2,000 in a month. you know, they did the charting, they waited. And quite honestly, I know somebody who, after studying options and perfecting it, took 500 and turned that into like 30 something thousand within a year. So options definitely has more risk, but you have there's less risk when you understand the options chain. 500. Is 500 or 1,000? Is 500 okay, or 1,000 or another amount? Like I said, 500 is, so let's just think about it. I'm gonna use 1,000 for math's sake, right? So if you would have had $1,000 to make that move that I just showed you, Intel move, right? and you let's just say you invested $1,000 because you could buy fractional shares too, right? Um, if you would have waited, if you wanted 30%, right? You would have made $300 off of that $1,000 investment. You cut that in half, you're talking 150. But then you then take that instead of, well, no, you can definitely take the money out the market and use it for whatever you need it to, right? But again, we're talking s- the smaller the investment, the smaller, not your returns, but the total amount of money you'll get on your return. So if you're putting 10,000 in and you're getting a 30% return on investment, that's $3,000, right? Whereas if you're putting $1,000 in, that's $300. So it's up to you. It's whatever, you feel you can comfortably invest and whatever your goals are. But everybody has to start from somewhere, right? But just know that 30% is 30% of whatever you invest. 20% is 20% of whatever you invest. And that includes stop losses. So if you do a stop loss of 20%, 20% of $1,000 is 200. You have to be okay with that 200, if it hits your stop loss, you have to be okay with that 200 going away, but knowing that 70% of your trades are going to go your way. So yeah. So hopefully, why is my space full? I think I have too many tabs open. Oh, and I have these trading tabs open in there. So I'm going to close out of that. I showed you the options chain. I showed you how to sign up for the webinar. If you sign up for the webinar is only going to be available for 30 hours, I think it is. So, I mean, not the webinar, the replay. So this is not a watch it a week later. It's like I said, it's going to be a 30-minute to 45-minute webinar, hour max, depending on questions. And, watch it, either sign up or not. But yeah, the it's set to go away after 30 hours. So by mid Sunday, you should have made a decision. And again, we are capping the seats. I do need to figure out how many people from the Rain Society are going to be part of the community, and that will part of the training, and that will give me the total amount of seats left that we can sell. And anyone that registers will also have the opportunity to upgrade into the Rain Society, and you can read all the things that has to offer, everything. So it's not just about trading, it's about financial planning with a wealth expert. It's about learning how to use AI in different areas of your life, the most strategic ways. It's a whole bunch. So I don't want to get off on a tangent about that. But that will be available um, to upgrade as well. You don't have to. You can definitely just sign up for the trading course, but understand that all of our master courses, like you just heard me say, everyone who's part of the Rain Society, they get this complimentary. So the value is 10 times better if you're part of the Rain Society because you don't have to keep paying for courses. Anyway, so that's all I got. Thank you, Shalonda. We'll be catching the replay since you just logged in. Okay, thank you. Thank you for tuning in for the algorithm. If you are in here, did not hit that like button, go ahead and hit it now. Go ahead and hit it now. I'm going to try to come back tomorrow just to see how NVIDIA reacted to that gap. And there's some other topics I want to talk about. I haven't done what a week in a while. And there's some news topics that we definitely should be paying attention to. So tomorrow we will meet again. And I believe it's tomorrow evening. And I have to get ready to go to the flawless meeting. So I will see everyone tomorrow. Have a good night. Hit that like button on the way out. Take care. Bye. Subscribe if you haven't. Take care. Bye.